a second, guys. Yes. Man, turn that down. What is going on? Happy Sunday. It's always weird doing this on days where the market is closed on Monday. What's up, Mike? Man, appreciate you guys being here. What is up? Good time to be a stock investor. I know it don't feel like it, but it is. Once you get on the other side of the cash register, these things are different. And you say, what do you mean? I mean, if we get to thinking about portfolios, if we're building a bucket, an asset, an allocation, we're going to get thrown shit, man. And we got to decide in our mind. That's why I'm doing my new ebooks on mindset. And, and that can be cliche, and there's a lot of shit out there on mindset. There really is. And good, man. It's like saying, well, man, there's too much stuff on exercising. Well, that's not a bad problem. If you're going to have too much information, then maybe you do it on some good things. And no matter how old you get or where you get or how advanced you get, at the end of the day, we're competing against ourselves. And at the end of the day, I wake up with me and you wake up with you. And we're going through this thing that it's not unique. A lot of people before me were here. A lot of people before you were here. A lot of people woke up in the middle of the night worried about shit long before I was here. Long before you were here. And as we think about it, most things were intentional. Meaning the things that we set our mind to, those things are most likely the shit that's going to come in our life, man. And we got to operate within that, right? And while you're trying to make shit intentionally happen for yourself, some shit just gets thrown at you too, man. And it's the same with the stock market. And it can appear chaotic. And sometimes shit, it is chaotic. And sometimes some people, they get it right. And they pick the right side. Maybe they make an outside bet. Maybe they're an outlier and they do something and they make a lot of money. Or maybe they lose a lot of money. I talked with 3 people this week who'd lost, well north. When I say lost, I mean gone. I'm not talking about you own some Hanes brands and the stock went down. I mean, if you're struggling with that, man, I like to think sometimes I'm talking to the choir. And you're like, what do you mean? I ain't got to invite them to church, man. The choir comes to church. The choir does Bible study. I grew up Baptist. That's why I use these impressions. And I meet people that were committed to an idea, a philosophy, a theology that it had to be respected. These weren't perfect people, man. And sometimes, it wasn't like they were. But the commitment they had to a way of life, man, is commendable. I've always been fascinated with cults and churches and religious organizations because of the commitment level, because of a process of commitment. I know one thing I learned at an early age: the shit you do every day and what you hold in your mind is what surrounds you. So if you think about art, you tend to have pictures around you. I don't know how to explain it any simpler than that. It's just how the fuck it works. The things that you think about and hold and can't shake and do for free and like, fuck, I just can't get away from this. That is the stuff in life that will pay you the most. And you say, why? Man, because you're entertained by it. People want to pay you to watch you do it. Think about a basketball player. Man, they didn't accidentally do that. They were obsessed. Little kid driving their parents crazy. Drive me to practice, drive me here, do this, do this, do this. They are time consumers. People that are obsessed with things begin to consume time. Meaning they begin to disrupt shit around other people around them. They're like, hey, this weekend you want to go do camp, bro? Bought a house. What do you mean? Meaning I bought a house, man. A fucking house. They gave me the keys. It's jacked up, dude. I got to go fix it. So you're not going to the lake? No. Okay. I'll go next week. I can't this week, dude. I got to hit Home Depot. I got to do this. On Monday, I got to meet with this guy after work. On Tuesday, I got a painter. I'm getting some quotes. We're going to paint. I mean, this is the next 2 months of my life. That's by choice. So when I come to the stock market and I look, this is AT&T. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of obsessed with this. I have been my whole life. I don't have enough shares. I got about almost a little over 400. That's not enough, man. You're like, what do you mean? It's not enough, dude. It's not enough, man. 400. This ain't on your mind? You ain't thought about this today? You're not thinking these things? I am. My signal came right here. It's been the same for me for over a decade. Other people are still confused about it. They're like, what do you think about the market? What do you mean? What do you think about the market? It's here. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow we did yesterday. So as I go forward, but what do you think about Bitcoin? I'm going to buy it on stage ones. What do you think about it? Preacher doesn't call the choir and go, hey man, you coming to church on Wednesday? Of course they're coming to church on Wednesday. Hey LeBron, are you going to be at the game? Yeah, I'm going to be at the game. Wait, you mean you don't have to call LeBron and invite him to practice? No, he got there before you. Meaning the coach showed up after he did. Why? Obsession. Man, the moment you get obsessed about that, about anything in your life, and these are just examples because I don't know the guy down the street from you that does this, and that's why he has done so well at XYZ. He might be like that with paintball guns. I don't know. This isn't something reserved for the outliers. We just talk about outliers because we all know about them. It's an example. You're like, yeah, I know about that guy. Well, it trickles down, man. It's to the guy that's a car salesman, to the person that sells houses, to the person, anything, man. And yesterday I was talking about this and you're like, what does this have to do with stock trading? Everything, man. This is stage 2 breakout. Clearly defined in my book, The Money Flow Trading System. Okay? Right here. Very simple, very easy to define what a stage 2 breakout is. This is a chart right here, right? This is a chart. And a chart records history. You ever hear me say a life worth living is a life worth recording? And you're like, what do you mean? I don't know. Record what you do. You say, well, I didn't do nothing. Well, the recording just told you something. Do something. So, this tells us stage 1, stage 2. Now right here, I want to show you something in the eclipse of time right here. Look what happened. This is in December of last year. Recorded. I don't know what you did in December of last year. You didn't record it. So I don't remember. What were you doing on this day? No, I don't record like that. Like I don't put went to gym, ate a piece here, had 4 beers, hung out with Tony, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about record like that. I'm talking about your activity is on such a level that shit was happening here. You were doing things, good things, positive things, right? If you begin to record like that, then you're going to record like this, like it's going to go forward. And so if we had set a goal here in December and you had stuck to it, and now we're over here, good things have happened to you. Well, guess what? This chart's going forward, man. So on Tuesday, they're going to print a number. And for you. So the course you bought, the book you got, the studies you've been doing, the extra skill, the side hustle, whatever you're doing, like that's recorded, man. And so you can get better at it. I know a lot of people don't even podcast. I mean, that are podcasters that barely podcast. Like they're barely doing the activity of the thing they say they are, man. They say they're traders and they're like, well, I don't have any money to trade. You don't have $50? And you're like, what do you mean? What if this next year is not about you making money, it's about you executing trades? It's not money, execution. So I could take, what is this, $20, okay? I could say, okay, I'm going to do $200 positions in AT&T. And here's the money flow, right? I know price moves in 4 stages. And I'm looking at a daily chart. We pull out a pencil and we start to write down these rules. And we say, now here's the challenge. The fact is you won't sit from today to, or will you, to choice. What I do is a choice. Coming on here was a choice. None of you paid me. Did you pay me? I chose to. Right? I choose. I choose. Talking with a buddy yesterday. Let me read you something out of my new ebook. This is not about stocks, but it is about stocks. It's not about sales, but it is about sales. It's not about raising children, but it is about raising children. It's in sections, mindset, thought patterns. And what I want you to do is read it a couple times over 45 days. That's it, man. Suspend all belief. Like you don't need a lawyer or Congress. You don't need your wife's approval, your husband's. And you don't need to run it by your rabbi. Just do it. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel silly. I got a little mantra in there I want you to say. Just say it. Try it 3 times. I know 45 is fucking, you'd be a psychopath. For you to do the same thing twice a day on time, exactly, just as you said, for 45 days, make you like fucking RoboCop. You know that, right? Make you an amazing person. When you get ability like that, that's what the book Think and Grow Rich is about. Like the ability to make oneself do that. You go look at superhumans, that's all they're able to do. Force themselves to do shit they didn't necessarily want to do. Nobody wants to do things. But they got to do them, man. And then after a while, and what if you want to do them? Man, shit gets easy then. You say, what do you mean? The way I got 17 houses, I just got up every day with the idea of getting houses. And my friends got up with the idea of not getting houses. Simple as that. It's not about the economy or fucking interest rates or all this other bullshit that I see people come up with as excuses. That has nothing to do with that. I don't even know what the interest rate is. It is whatever they tell me it is when I go get the fucking loan. That's it. That will adjust price for other people, but not for people that are obsessed with getting deals that cash flow, because they're looking every day. And they will find them, because if you look every day, that's what happens. So if you came to the stock market every day and you said, okay, I'm going to follow 20 stocks. Now, the superhuman ability to do this, I mean almost nobody that can pull off what I'm about to show you. They come over here. If you had my course, Getting Started with Stock Charts, if you've had a bad run on trading, get this ebook and start over and say, listen, I'm going to do this shit over. Here's my do-over trading account. I'm going to put whatever in it, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go find these 20 stocks. You don't get to pick any more ever. The whole fucking year in this account. You're like, what do you mean? Not in another account. Nowhere where you get cushioned to fuck it up. 20 things. You're trading them. Maybe we even go more excited than that. And you say, what do you mean? 3X funds. Pick 20 of them. Dare you. Dare you. So here's one right here. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Just pull it up to triple leverage. Stop cursing. 946, bro. Time 946. First curse word. These are turning points in the money flow trading system. Right here. Stage 2 breakout. Same. Never changes. Very clear definition of what it looks like. Okay. So once we understand what it looks like, this is Brazil, by the way. So what if we had 10 of these? 20 of these? And you're like, what do you mean? I'm going to take a $250 trade, maybe $300. And you say, well, I'm going to do $550. See? It is very hard for human beings. So whatever number you pick, do the same. What are you doing? I'm just giving you an idea, okay? Hang in there. We're going to talk about how you're going to pick them. In these movements, these are called stages. Come on, man. Get it together. These are called stages. Okay? Now, what if we let's simplify this, and we're just trading to the upside. Meaning, I want to try to be out of this shit, and I want to be in this. Out of, in of. Now, you could trade both sides. Nothing wrong with that. I think you're going to have a hard time trying to trade both sides of 20 things. You're going to go fucking crazy. Just trust me, based on experience. I would limit the number of things that I traded to the downside, but I would trade to the downside. And there's reverse for these. So close this out. So as we come, we know that up here is the RSI, Relative Strength Index. This is a gift from God to you. I don't know if you're grateful. It's one of the greatest things ever created for investing. If your grandfather would have had the simple calculation, it is a math calculation, by the way. You should go look at what it is. We could Google it before you DM me and go, hey, Gerald, where can I find that calculation? And I pee myself because you asked me that without going over here and just Googling it. Everything on planet Earth is in Google. Everything you ever need to know. How to blah, blah. There it is. So we don't have the we don't know thing. Guy says, well, I don't know how to work on houses. Yeah, you do. Right here. You just don't have the ability to make yourself sit and look at it and read it and do it. Chaos to cash. Success is always organized chaos. The world and the universe are perfectly balanced, even if we're not. The planets never collide with each other. The roots and trees are always long enough to stabilize the trunk, and the sun never gets too close to the earth. And the rivers and streams, they always flow into the lakes. Fact is, nature has a crafty system that eliminates the weak from gaining too much power and authority. Nature purges itself of people who won't be able to handle the pressure. You know how you make diamonds? Pressure. You ever hear those? Iron sharpens iron. Pressure. The pressure of trading. Trading is agony. And it's not given to the weak. And you're going to get purged. And you say, yeah, but I messed up and I blew out. Good. Welcome to the fucking class. A lot of people blow out, man. Hedge funds go out of business. People have got master's degrees and MBAs and finance. They blow out. Long-term capital management had 3 guys that had physics degrees. Went to MIT. They had Nobel Peace Prizes in economics, and they blew out. We're shocked you did. Meaning anybody can, man. We can't judge our confidence based on our results. If you tag your confidence to your results, you're going to be a sad sucker. Because everybody fails, man. Falling forward fast is how you get to where you're going. You think Ray Kroc just rolled up into McDonald's and said, man, I think I'm going to start McDonald's. No, man, he had failed like 5-6 times. Go look, Ford. Go look, man. All of them. Go look at the guy that started Pizza Hut, man. Anybody that's done anything great has been fired, lost, blew out, divorced, sold, did drugs, got drunk. Come on. If I attach my confidence in my results, I'm always going to be sad. I mess up all the time. So we don't attach our confidence to something like that. I got a birthright, man. Trading the markets is something I do because I'm a trader. I don't know, man. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I hope you are. Once you are, and you have a romantic relationship with the RSI, all other indicators seem kind of laughable. It's the one thing in the stock market that is true. It takes the price of the last 14 days of price movement on a daily chart. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5. Remember, fourth grade, this is where we learn these skills to be a trader. 9, 10, maybe that was second grade. 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, look at that. So from here to here in a 2-week period, price is right back where it started. But what about all the drama between here and here? Oh, wait, it's all good now. Came back. The news story could have been anything, but in reality, if you recorded it, it started here, and then 2 weeks later, it's here. So the guy that didn't watch CNBC or watch the news or go to YouTube, he don't know all the drama you were thinking about. What people don't know is all that shit you look at and go read gets logged into your brain, messes with your subconscious. That's why I don't hang out with people that are negative. It's not that they're right. They might be right. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to be positive, man. I'm not in the recession. They are. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to accumulate houses, not sell houses. I don't flip houses. I accumulate wealth, man, and then I collect rent. So my goal is to take my assets and grow them, double them, compound them. That's what I'm trying to do. So if they come down, good. I don't need to be told they are, though. I know they're coming down right here. When the 5-day exponential average and the 20-day exponential average cross below the 20-day simple day moving average, that means 1 week, the current week is now below the last 2 weeks, and it's below the last month. That is the very definition of a downtrend. Downtrend. It started right there. I don't need to know why that happened. You could for an intellectual fun, but you better guard yourself. You better guard yourself and remind yourself what you're in the game of. Because what people tend to do is let current circumstances squirrel them, and they forget what they were trying to do. The reason everyone doesn't own a bunch of stocks and is wealthy in America is not because it's fucking complicated. All you had to do is hit buy. All you had to do was hit buy. That's not why they don't have a bunch of money and wealth. Your parents aren't rich in the stock market, not because they didn't know. Everyone knows about the stock market. Back it up. Your grandparents have known about the stock market, but it looks risky to them because they watch the news, not charts, news. They watch history, not news, right? They're watching news, not history. So if I go back and I run this back to 1850, this is what it looks like all the way back to the beginning of time. But this is each one of these days is 1 month. God's time's not man's time. And you value this little time. You're like, oh man, I've been in the stock market 7 months. My account's down. Okay. COVID, man, what about that? We've had that before too. Pandemics, flus, go look. You ever heard of Dust Bowl? Fucking horrific. Right? You're World War I? Terrible. Fucking terrible. Matter of fact, Americans were rationing things. Guess what your family should have done? Bought stocks? They didn't. Guess who did? Ford family, Walmart family, Rockefeller. Matter of fact, they said, hey, can I make some money on this war? You think he had a victory garden? You think Henry Ford had a victory garden? No, he didn't have a victory. He's the owner. Now, we're not Henry Ford. And again, that's like drawing on the LeBron thing. Sometimes it can be disingenuous. I'm not LeBron, but I can learn from LeBron's work ethic, right? I don't have the same, skill set as so-and-so. I'm not Mike Holmes. You ever watch Mike Holmes on Home and Garden? Dude, I watch that guy work and I'm like, I really know nothing. How in the fuck? Like, I can't keep up with it at all. And yet I own 17 properties and worth $3 million, $4 million, depending on whatever it's valued at right now in real estate, man. But I can't do anything that guy does. So I know I don't have to be the best or be an outlier or be super smart. Like if I come to the stock market and I just go pull a chart and over time it looks like this, And every so often, man, you got some crazy moves, right? and things get repriced. And some things really get repriced. I remember when bank stocks went to like $1. That's happened in my life 2 times. 2 times that's happened. I don't know how you would have handled it. I know what you think. Oh man, shit, I would have bought them all up, man. I'd have been, yeah. I hear that bullshit. Nobody does it. You say, what do you mean? Because I can't name anybody. I've been in the stock market for 20 years. I mean, I've written a book and I've had it out for 7 years. I've been telling anybody that would listen to me, you need to buy real estate and you need to buy stocks. If you got within 3 feet of me for more than 2 minutes, that conversation would happen. That's been like that for over a decade. I feel like I've been right. And in the midst of that, there's moments of chaos and terror. And that's when I'm like, this is when you got to stud up, courage. This is when you got to dig deeper. This is when you should want it more. And everyone says that when things are good, and when things are bad, they, oh wait, you mean this shit really can go up? Just knocked myself off Instagram, man. Getting so excited. I'm so excited for you. It makes me sick, man. Makes me sick, man. 20 years I've been in the stock market now. 20 years. And there is almost no stocks I wish I'd have sold. Looking back. You say, Gerald, but that's backward thinking. I know. And the government says that past performance isn't indicative of future results. Okay. You go to chapter 10 in my free ebook, totally free, completely free. 10 stocks, dogs of the Dow, pays about a 4.5% dividend yield. Meaning it's outpaid a bank or a CD since its existence. It's been around longer than your bank. Now, people will give money to a bank and an insurance company. Oh, here, you got to close. Here, man, here you go. Here's my money. And I could show them the dogs of the Dow strategy. You got to do 2 transactions a year. 2, that's it. 2 times you got to pick your phone up and do something. And it's averaged 10, 12% a year. Cash flows at 4.5%. It's right there, man. It's super simple. I've been buying that shit for a decade. No brainer, man. Still people on earth don't do that. Choices. We choose, man. Success and authority in oceanfront property is strictly reserved for the mighty, for the strong, and for the pioneer doers who have enough stamina to withstand the social stigma of failure. You have enough stamina to withstand the social stigma of failure? Well, Gerald, I can't buy that house. What if that person doesn't have the stamina to withstand the social stigma of failure? Right? Well, I can't buy Bitcoin. I don't have the stamina to withstand the social stigma of failure, Gerald. It might go to 0. All right? They might not pay me rent. All right? The house price might go lower. And somehow I can't withstand the social stigma that I was the guy that bought it at a higher price. Somehow that's connected to my ego, Gerald. Somehow my account balance or the shares I own or stocks I own somehow is connected to my self-confidence. It's not in me or my birthright. It's in a digits on a screen. Is it? Is that why you get up? Well, the market's up, so now I'm excited, but it's down, so now I'm not, because I'm controlled by price. That's where my confidence comes from, price. That's absurd. You got to get on the other side of that, man. It's the only way to prosper in this world, man. The only way for you to get ahead is to be ahead. You have to get ahead of the trend before the trend, man. If you're buying when other people are buying, you're following the social stigma. So my man interrupted class. What about Buffett? Gerald, stop your class and answer my question about Warren Buffett. Do that for me. Don't teach the money flow. Break down why Warren Buffett would do what Warren Buffett's doing. Well, let's look, man. So Buffett bought Oxy. All right. I'm in Exxon. Should I get out of Exxon and get into Oxy because he's in Oxy, or can I do my fucking plan? Is that all right? So let's pretend like I'm doing my plan right now with oil stocks. So rather than me worrying about what is Buffett doing, probably the same thing I'm doing. What? Having exposure to oil for the last 17 years. Now, if I had new money and wanted to buy some Oxy, I could buy some Oxy. Is Oxy doing something that Exxon's not? Or do you think they'll trade together? Well, let's go see, man. What was Oxy down? 2%, sir. Down 2%. What's Exxon down? 5%. Much further, huh? So if we're wanting to own oil stocks right now, I don't know why we had to wait till Buffett got it. Why are we buying when Buffett's buying? We should have been buying back here. Remember when we were buying back here? This is back when everyone didn't like oil stocks. So remember we were buying back here? This is the get on the other side of the cash register game, okay? So you're like, but Gerald, Bitcoin has come down 70%. I know, so is oil. You remember that? How quickly we forget that. But now that's the new cool trade, baby, because Buffett's doing it now. When was the good time to do it? When Buffett wasn't doing it. And it wasn't a cool trade. We want to be on the other side of the cash register so that we can get on the other side of the cash register. So when was the best time to buy oil? Down here, right? And you say, yeah, but how would you have known? Because you follow this stuff consistently over a long period of time and you're looking to buy stage ones. This is what the money flow brings you, man. So as you're watching this and you see a stock come in, if you own it, what are we doing? We're waiting. But we got to make some kind of call. Is it undervalued here? Is it undervalued here? Right? Now we're adding fundamentals. And if it's undervalued here, we want to catch it and we want to what? Catch the bottom, man. How do we know the bottom? We got to get an anchor point. What's an anchor point? It's the lowest price in a stage move. Now listen, these things move in stages. And we're back over here. Look at, let's pull it up on a daily. So what do we have happening right now? Stage 4 decline, right? So now we can build out the chart. Where's the highest high? 105. Where's the RSI? RSI said sell it. Trim it. Depending on your goals, right? So if you wanted to trim some more Exxon, that was flashing a trim signal. You say, how could you have known that? Because it went green. And every time it goes green, that's what that means. It doesn't mean it can't keep going up or it can't keep going down, though. That's where people get confused. You can have a runaway. But each time it hits green, you'll see it pulling back. Now, this is a runaway to the upside. So it's a different kind of target. This isn't money flowing very well, to be honest. You're seeing the pattern if you got eyes to see. Watch. Sideways, there's your breakout, right? Sideways, stage 4 decline, sideways, run up, hits the RSI, sideways, comes down, sideways, runs up, right? Starts to come. Now we're just back to sideways. There's the 3. Starts to see where it starts to like out. It's almost not money flowing, but if we back up to the previous pivot point and we draw our lines, what do we start to see? It's actually starting to go just sideways. That's what we call gray areas. Shit's not as clean. It's literally not money flowing. Versus if we go to say T, where you're seeing the long sweep up, and the nice clean down. See the difference in that? In the money flowing there? Now that takes time to catch that, to see that. And look, over here. So if we're swing trading the money flow, just in its purest essence, this is the chart you're looking for. Catching the breakout. You're going to sell on the extreme RSI, right? So we know we're selling in there. And we're selling on previous high. There's previous high. See how they came together? So if we're trading over here, same thing. Previous high and the RSI. Let's see if it happens again. Look at that. Happened again. RSI hit. Previous high. There's our sell zone. So you're like, what do you mean? Every time. Same pattern is what I'm looking for. Breakout, runs up, hits target, previous high, hits RSI, give me my money, I'm out. That's swing trading, man. So that's swing trading. As an investor, once this starts to happen, I'm out. I'm done, man. It's not on sale anymore. I'm just going to let it go. And I may not even sell when it hits these tops. Why? I don't have any interest. I'm trying to accumulate dividends. So I'm going to just leave it be. It's off the radar. It takes no brain effort. Don't need to think about it. I just leave it alone in my account. When this happens, game changes. Stage 4 decline in one of my assets that I hold that I would like to build on. So what am I doing? Well, I'm going to keep an eye on it every day. And guess what? All of a sudden, the chaos of the stock market isn't about where we go and who thinks this, what about recession. It's about my game plan, what I'm doing, accumulating. Success is always organized chaos. The world and the universe are perfectly balanced. Planets never collide with each other, and the roots of trees are always long enough to stabilize the trunk, meaning there's a pattern of order. First page of the Money Flow, page 1 says a fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Driven by recursion, fractals are images of dynamic systems, the pictures of chaos. Geometrically, they exist between our familiar dimensions. Fractals are patterns that are extremely familiar, since nature is full of fractals. You walk outside, it's cloudy, you're like, fuck, I think it's going to rain. Fractal pattern. That's what this is. It's recorded time. Same people playing every day. On Monday, there's not a whole lot of new people going, hey, what is AT&T? Never heard of this. That's not a lot. Every day, new people drip into the market. Every day, people die. And you're like, what do you mean? They died. They own shares. They died. Kid had a heart attack, owned $4 million. Family's too stupid to keep the money. It gets dispersed. It gets sold. What did that have to do with the earnings of AT&T? Nothing. And that's the chaos that comes to the stock market every day. You come here, I come here with different views, man. Maybe something tragic. I need the money. I need to buy a truck. What does that have to do with AT&T? Nothing. And yet that's what moves price around. A whole lot of nothing moves price around on a daily basis. It means nothing. It's just people buying and selling of different emotional reasons. But then we have this thing of social psychology, collective. All of a sudden, here's the thing, it doesn't even have to be true. Like, we're actually not in a recession, and yet the stock market is sold off like it's fucking Great Depression. And the truth is, restaurants are full, people are still buying gas, airplanes are full, everywhere I go there's people drinking and partying. I don't see a depression, I don't see a recession, I don't see anybody cutting back. I see people on vacation. Half my followers are on fucking vacation every time I turn around. I don't see people worried. I don't see people stocking money. I see people spending money. One thing Americans will always do, spend everything they make. Good times, bad times, they will spend every penny. Because of that, we can get rich. You know that, right? Because of the misbehavior of the social, look, all you gotta do is look at yourself and then multiply it, because other people are probably worse. Just look at yourself, man. I got neighbors that literally order every day from DoorDash. Literally every day. See Uber everywhere I go. Now, could you have it where different time, like it's not being used as much, people aren't buying as much? Sure. And that's why you get business cycles. So if I'm a manager of assets and I sit back, big picture, thinking, looking on the cloud, over observing, going, wow, okay. Man, how far do you think they're going to take that down? Now I start approaching it from a different point of view, man. Okay, what's this dividend yield? So if I go look, let's do Morningstar because they're pretty conservative. And I come over here and I put in AT&T. Come on, man. What do they got? They're not giving us the number. Come on, man. They got $25 on this damn thing. We're at $19. So what does that tell me? What does that tell me? Maybe it's cheap. Has it hit an extreme? Yeah, it touched it. It touched it, right? Didn't really hit it hard. Has it ever stopped here before? Why? Price tends to stop where it stopped before. And you're like, what do you mean? Same when it's going up, it tends to stop where it stopped before. Where it stopped before is where it tends to stop. Didn't say forever, just that's where it tends to stop. And if it breaks through that, that's a significant move, right? Boom. What happened? Hit the RSI again, and then what happened? Price came down. Now what's up? It's hitting the RSI. So as an investor, do I want to buy here? No. I want to be looking at what? Stage ones. I don't know if this is stage one yet, but it started. Is this stock undervalued? Yes. As of right now, it's undervalued. You might say, yeah, but what if the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes back in America and pillages, eats people with iPhones? Do you think that, what do you think then, Gerald? Well, if that happens, I think Morningstar will come over here and you're going to see them adjust the thing. And you're going to say, well, why did they do that? And you're going to say, well, a Tyrannosaurus Rex eats people with iPhones. And that's really hit into AT&T sales. Man. Okay? And that's the way it's going to be, man. You're going to have shit that's like, I didn't even think of that. It happens. That's not a judgment. Should I own the company or not own the company? No, I need to be diversified. I need to own different assets. And at different times, these things are going to be repriced, man. And I get to decide, do I want to build and accumulate? Now, if you own shit tons, millions of dollars worth, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the way you see it changes. But what we got to do is clearly define what we're doing, man. So if we're swing trading, this is the swing trade. You get in, you're watching the stage one, you're watching. Bam, breakout day. I'm in. Target, previous high, right? Where's my stop? I don't know, probably right around in here. It's done, over. That's how long it takes to trade. Go to work and you're like, oh, I can't trade. I got a job, Gerald. I get that all the time. I just can't do it. And I'm like, you can't do what I just said there in 5 seconds? That is obviously a breakout. You buy it. Where's the stop? Below the previous low, man, right around in that zone. Based on how much you're going to lose is how much you're going to buy. And you're like, what do you mean? You in a trade, if you're trading, you guys want to be traders? Listen up. You're trading. That means you got to get comfortable. In, out, in, out, in, out. That means, like, listen, when you shoot and play basketball, you miss shots, man. They don't go, well, shit, I missed 7. Let me go sit on the bench. No, they keep shooting. So this is where your stop is, right? Now, you may have a different stop system. Maybe you 3 days average price movement times 2.5. You got some weird shit like that. Maybe this is what you do. You come over here. Here's one. I used to do this a lot. Where's Parabola? Where is it at? Let me see if it's on here. I used to use this indicator. Let me see. Now, see these dots? See these dots? Now, this is not a perfect strategy, and you got to adjust this. But this is something I used to use to help me. The problem is it can tend to run tight, right? But here's these dots. And when you got it, this thing here, so you got to adjust it. It adjusts every day with price. And what you'll notice is the way it's created, and you got to adjust the numbers for the way I used to use it. This is out of the box. It follows price. So as price moves up, it gets closer and closer and closer, and then bam, you're hit. And then you notice it flips the other side. Well, if I'm only trading to the long side, I ignore these. What am I waiting for? For it to get hit again. And I have a stage 2. Boom, get long. And I put my stop every day where this little dot is. And it takes all the, like you look, boom, it gets hit. Well, you're going to notice it's getting hit very much when, look, the RSI went extreme. I didn't need this to tell me up here to trim. So as I begin to use this stop strategy, I begin to say, okay, well, shit, sometimes it keeps going. And that, and that's this. I'm just giving you some of the origins. There's a lot of ways to use stops. And so a guy sometimes will be like, well, I can't trade. No, you can trade, man. You got to limit what you're trading. You got to limit the information you're taking in. And you're listening to too many damn people, man. The number of people I see people listening to blows my mind. How do you follow 50 people? That teach stocks. I'm not talking about 50 friends or 50 people on the internet. But there's no way I'm following 50 traders. It's not even possible they have something intelligent to say. 50 of them? Come on, man. I'm not following 50 people that are talking about the stock market. Why? Because I don't need 50 fucking opinions. What good is that? It's crazy town. I don't need 50 people talking to me about real estate. I need one person that knows what they're talking about. Maybe two. At the most three. And even then I'm going to look at it and it blows my mind, man. Number of people I see people following. You don't get more because you follow more chaos. You know that, right? You're not going to learn more because you listen to 50 carpenters are going to do something different. You're going to spend your whole time trying to figure out why one of them's doing it different than this, instead of learning from the one guy to know what that guy does. You get what I'm saying? You can't learn 35 strategies one time. You got people still trying to learn the money flow, trying to figure out options. Why don't you learn the discipline and consistency to actually buy a breakout, move your stop and set a target and do that shit for about a year? Meaning come in and act like you want to play basketball. What people do is they want to come in, let me be the quarterback. No, why don't you throw the ball for a while? Practice, man. I meet almost no one, fucking no one who's practiced this every day with a clean mind, with fucking gratitude that I can sit in front of a chart and you know what? I can play at any level. And they're like, well, I don't have enough money. No, you have plenty enough money. You don't have enough heart. Because if you gave 2 fucks, you could come over here and buy 5 shares and you could buy this breakout, set a stop. What are you going to lose? $8? So you're going to lose $8 on the trade. But instead of learning to trade over and over and over, going forward for the entire year and get some skill set, no, they don't do that. Fuck it. All of it. Go in with 80 fucking 100 grand, markets crashing. Instead of now, oh man, I could come over here and let's take a short position and we're going to use the S. They can't. Their brain's too scattered because they take in too much shit. And you think your goal is to be winning all the time. Well, guess what? You don't win all the time. And if you connect confidence to results, you're never going to get good at it, man. And so most people know you have wasted the last year in the stock market. Still struggle with how to do stops. Still struggle with where a target is or how to value something or understanding history. At some point, you got to mature. At some point, you got to mature and be above this. And if you trade and if you do this because, oh, I want it to go up, you're going to have a lonely fucking existence. And that's why your parents didn't have lots of stocks. You know why? Because they didn't want lots of stocks. They didn't want mastery of the stock market. They spent all their time, energy on other shit. Other shit. And I got a whole list of friends who've literally taken their mind off of this because it didn't go up for them. They weren't in it to begin, man. The reason I still do this 20 years later is I'm fucking obsessed with this. It don't matter, man. Take all my money. I'm going to wake up on Tuesday and go, well, I got $100, man. Let me get 5 of these. The guy always says, what do you do? What would you invest in? What I did yesterday, man. Yesterday. It's documented. petersreport.com. Go look. That's what I would buy. Exactly what I did fucking yesterday. So if I come over here, so what that guy's doing, he's just getting started, man. He's got a child minnow mind-like understanding of the stock market. And instead of trying to master the shit and learn it, understand all the, do that, he's trying to make money. He's trying to make money. Try that in any other profession or sport, you'd be laughed at as being a fool. Oh, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm just going to get paid to do surgeries. As if trading is not a skill. As if your mind is not a skill. Investing is one of the hardest activities you'll ever do. And this is why so very few people have money. Because it's about thinking. It's about using your mind and committing to a blueprint and changing your life. And most people cannot do that, man. And so you're trying to attempt something that is one of the hardest things in the world. To get up every day with the idea that I want to get richer and accumulate more shit is something that other people do not do ever. Much less fucking consistency. Over week after week, they don't. They feed the carnal nature, the YOLO, what right now, what makes me, that's what they feed. And where you're at right now is exactly what you fought for 3 years ago. That was what was important to you. The shit you own right now is what you wanted to own. And that is the truth, man. That is the truth. And instead of staying committed, I know, man, almost nobody stays committed to this. I've sold 50,000 books. You think there's 50,000 people for the last 5 years that have been building positions? Because if every one of them would have done it, they'd be rich right now. Be rich. They didn't. They took their eyes off of that. Let me see what this guy's doing. Let me go play with this. What about a little of this? They're not committed to doing one thing over and fucking over. And that's how you get great at things. Doing the simplest thing over and over and over without wandering. Makes me sad, man. And I know that's none of you. Makes me sad. That's what would fix politics. People give a shit about their money, their lifestyle, who they married, what they're doing day to day, where they spend their time. The 97% who refuse to think and focus into agony are employed by the 3% who do. They are given boxes to move, files to sort, given rudimentary tasks to complete daily that their employer thinks up. They work that man does today is the repeated motion of labor that is the same as he did 10 years ago. And through that process of repeated labor, and this is what my mission is all about, they are going to fire you. I promise you, you will be fired, removed, or outsourced. Your business will go out of business. Your job will be outsourced. You will be fired. You will die. They're not going to keep you where you're at. You're like, oh, I'm doing great. Now, that guy's listening to me. You know who you are, sir. We did a one-on-one the other day. You're making 170. Now, you're young. You're making 170. You give me 170, by the time I'm 36, I'm worth $2 million. And when they fire me, it's like, all right. Okay. Making 170 now on the side. So I got to take a setback. All right. See, the difference to a guy that does that, when he takes a setback and he's got to go work for 60 again because he can't get the 170. Okay. His assets keep going up. His dividends keep coming in. You get what I just said there? Big difference between, let's say you made 170, I made 170. I'm on this path. We both get to the end. We get fired. Both of us. I don't want to get fired. I'm trying to build my empire, right? You don't want to get fired. You're trying to eat. You got car payments, this, that. He structured a life around consumption. Very little savings. He doesn't have enough savings to ride this. The other guy's got $2 million invested. You're like, how does he have $2 million? Well, if he's saving, if he's putting in big money, and you do that for 5-6 years, it gets pretty wild what happens, man. Shit begins to grow exponentially. And he's going to do that in the down moves. So he's buying stage ones of Apple, and he's not buying fucking 8 shares, man. He's putting in thousands. Right? If you're making 170 and give me that money and we're going to put in 70, 80,000, well, I mean, what is that? That's a lot, man. That's a fourplex in 6 months. Like, you begin to play this game, and then I begin to allocate that money into thing, and I fast forward that, and you do what I do every day, wake up trying to grow, man. And you do this every day, and you're reading about it and thinking about it, and you're looking for deals, and you're compound, like, you do that. Fast forward 10 years, when this guy gets fired and this guy gets fired, it's 2 different conditions, 2 different situations. One has the luxury to sit back and think about what he wants to do. The other one has some problems. He's probably going to have to sell or borrow against his 401k to float through till he finds the next job. Big difference. That's what this offers you, to change that scenario for yourself. That's why this is so important, man. This is that, even like, you don't have, like, this shit is so important. Lost for words, man. Lost for words. Makes me cry, man. Like, because it fixes so much. I got such good friends. They're my age, guys. I mean, they're my age. Got an 80 grand. Man, that ain't no money. That ain't no money, man. It's gone like that. Some of them don't have that. And it's not that they're not smart. You know? And you say, well, sometimes life's unfair. I know. I know that. Believe me. And yet we still got to do this. And when you start to see it like that, man, and we were talking about on this trading thing. Let's say you want to trade. And I tell kids all this time, easy, bro. If you want to trade, you want to be a master trader, go over here. We could trade. Go get 20 of these XXX funds. Go put $5,000 in there. We're going to trade them. But can you stay with it? Can you stick with it? Can you? Can you follow the same 20? How many days until you get sidetracked? If you went and set that up for yourself, if we did this as a social experiment, like, all right, I'm put $5,000 there. I'm going to follow either these 10, 20 stocks or these 10, 20 triple leverage. How many days in till you've changed that? Or you said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm only trading to the upside, and I'm going to buy the breakouts, right? I'm going to buy the breakouts. There's a breakout. I'm going to set my stop below the previous low, and then I'm going to set my targets using the RSI. I'm going to follow these 20 things. Each position is going to be $250, maybe $300, no big deal. And I'm going to do this consistently for 6, 7, 8 months, consistently, every fucking day. How many can do that before they go, but Robert on YouTube said, maybe? Like, there's the rollover, right? There's the stage 4 decline. So if we're looking at the pattern, right there, best time to sell. So the trader's out. And since you only traded alongside, you let it come down. And what? You're letting it set up, right? Now, in that scenario, the trade worked out perfect. So you'd have got long here, right? Let's do it again. We'd have got long right around in there. Our stop would have been way down here. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? We'd make our stop based on what? Not how much we're going to make, how much we're going to lose. So we got to calculate the loss from here to here if we're doing this stop method, right? Why would you do that? Because that tends to be where it stops. So if I'm doing that stop method, now here's what most people do. Once they decide on that stop method, in real time, they start changing it. Oh, well, that didn't work that time. Let me change it. Instead of sticking to it, right? And then it's just a constant state of fuckery and fucking with it. And then they then they don't stay with the same 20. And they add this and they do this. And then out of boredom, right? You see what happens? And then the experiment falls apart. And look, it never made it to the previous high. And we get stopped out over here, right? And that whole little run there took, what, a month? Just to end up right back where you were and you didn't make much. And the guy says, well, that's boring. I need more action. So then he comes over. This is what the brain does, man. Scattered brain. Well, maybe, I saw that one guy. He does those, whatchamacallit, on a 1-hour chart. Let me start fucking with that. And then, oh, wait. This guy, he does these things with, let me go do that. Oh, wait, no, that guy does. And instead of staying with this in over 12 months on those 20 things, executing 100, 200 trades, perfect accordingly. There is no record of that. It's just a record of chaos, man. Come on, man. I'm rooting for you, man. Man, I'm rooting for you, man. Man, I want people to be successful at this so much it hurts. It hurts, man. I meet people and it makes me sad. Like, man, you pay rent? Man, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to buy something, man. You got to be an owner, man. You got to own assets that appreciate. You got to own assets that produce. You got to be an owner. Your first thought, your go-to, I'm an owner. So when someone says, hey, man, you just inherited $1 million, you're like, geez, man, I know exactly where to put that shit. Like, I don't even have to think about it. And they're like, what do you mean? What would you do? What I did yesterday, man. Man, you hand me a bunch of money. Ain't nothing changing. I ain't got to think about what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm doing it. If you got to think about what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. Nothing should change. If you get a big pile of money tomorrow, you know what to do. Do what you're doing. Oh, wait, you're not doing, maybe. If there's a different answer to that question, that means you're living in lack, in limitivity. You're thinking that if I had this or that, then I would do it this way or that way. But since I don't, I'm not, which means you're not actually going through the repetition of doing it. So why would it come to you? Why would you come into large sums of money if you can't invest small sums of money? What planet would give you lots of money if you can't do small money? If you fucked up small money, what god or planet would give you more? Wouldn't even be fair. Man, you better deserve that shit, man. Charlie Munger has a famous thing, says the world's not so disordered that people who don't deserve it get it. And that's why lottery winners lose it so fast. They weren't supposed to have it. They didn't live a life conducive to being an owner of assets. So the moment they got it, it's gone. Because they did what they're supposed to do. They consumed their money. If you consume all your money just because they give you a lot of money, you're just going to do what you did yesterday. So the moment what you did yesterday is the right answer, dieting gets easier, right? Working out at the gym gets easier. Being a salesman gets easier. Like, what would you do different? I do what I did yesterday. So the moment you wouldn't do it yesterday, your life is probably out of whack. You're like, well, if I could be married to someone else, just like that, it's not the one from yesterday, maybe there's something wrong at home, right? If I could do any other job just like that, but you weren't doing it yesterday, why? Why? What would you do different? Would you invest in something different? So if I give you 100 grand, that changes things? You're like, oh, now I'm off. I don't know what to do now. Really? Now, most of you know exactly what to do. Can't be around me long and not know the answer to that, right? You know what to do. Do what you did yesterday. So that's what's scary. I hate that question. Where would you put $10,000? First off, I wouldn't do that. That's not how I buy stocks. I hate the stupid question because it's not a realistic question. Well, if you had to buy one stock, it's stupid. I wouldn't buy one stock. You're asking a mythical, dumb question that doesn't exist. And what they're thinking is, well, if you only had one, gun to the head, you could only buy it. It's a stupid question. It's not how I invest. So the answer I'm giving you is wrong. So it's not that. That's not the answer. The answer isn't, those scenarios. And if you ever, there's this lost decade in tech stocks. People worry about this. Who the fuck is investing with a one-time transaction over a decade? They're like, yeah, but if you had $100,000, a decade later, it hasn't even gone up. Yes, it has, because I put money in. Yes, it has, because that center line you're looking at, price dropped down, went into a stage one. I bought some shares. It came back up. Well, my price point came down. So all things considered, at the end of the decade, I would be up, because I'm not buying the high runs. I'm buying the lows. When it runs up, I'm trimming. So it's an unrealistic question for me, because that's not how I invest, or not what I would look at, man. Man. You get what I'm saying? Man, investing is a mind game. It's a path game. If you watch my story, I post my dividends. Gee, post your dividends. Why don't you guys post dividends? You post the car you bought. People post depreciating assets. They don't post appreciating assets. You're like, what do you mean? Man, I get people saying, hey, why don't you follow me? Why? What are we doing? Maybe I get to know them. They're friends of mine. Yeah, if we're friends and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's up, man. Hanging out with the kids, good. I mean, you're doing normal life shit. I get it. Congratulations. Okay. I mean, that's good, but that's good for you, right? It's good for you. But I only have so much time. I got 170,000 followers. If I peek in on everyone's life, I can't grow my empire, right? So I got to start controlling. All right, your kid can bounce on a trampoline. Congratulations. That's normal life shit, man. Right? But why do people post trips, cars? I don't see them posting dividends. They'll be like, oh, I don't want to show off. Oh, you're not showing off. Your $12 dividend is not impressing anybody. But do that, man. Do it, dude. I used to freak people out. I post my dividends. I get paid. I post them. Why? They're real. It happened. I'm not bragging. They gave me the money, man. It's real. So this $212 from Exxon was real. They gave it to me. If I get out of Exxon because it's going into a stage 4 decline, I don't get the 200 and something. So if I want more than 200, I just buy more. Right? I can just buy more. Well, when they give me the 200, they buy me more. The 200 they just gave me, I had to go to cash. You're like, what do you mean? I felt like Exxon's overpriced right now. So the dividends, I've been having to go to cash. So now I got the cash. You're like, why would you do that? Because the market moves in 4 stages. And it was overpriced. So I set my dividends to go to cash. I've collected, I don't know, $500, $600, $700 here recently. And now it's going down. What do you mean? I want to buy it cheaper. Well, I got to think about this shit, right? I got to think on it. Where's my mind? Is it on this? So you get what I'm saying? So that's how this can help you as an investor. Well, what if I add another 300 to that? Oh shit, now I got $1,000 It's coming down, right? You realize that $1,000 is going to increase my dividends now. Well, if you've been playing this game for a fucking decade, guess what? It's a lot. So I get thousands of dollars a month coming in. And people say, well, I'd love that. Really? Okay, well, now's your chance. Now the market's coming in. Do all that shit you said you were going to do. Now's when you do it, man. So when you should love the market the most is when other people don't. That's when you should be the most excited. This is your best chance to level up right now. What is happening? Yeah, get rid of the debt. Now, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to end you with this right here. Every single day, I get asked this question. You're going to get asked this question. Maybe I went too far. I think I went too deep for just a live on the public. I'm sorry for yelling earlier. Most of your brains are not capable of comprehending anything I said there. I should have saved that for the choir. Apologize for your sensitivities. I know bad things have happened to you in life and you got picked on playground and remember that bully? It's not fair. Didn't get it. Like, it's people like that, man. There's 10 pillars to success. Number 1 is how you think is everything. We know that. My new ebook's about mindset. It'll make you a better trader, by the way. Here's the cool thing about the new ebook. It's less than 30 pages. You're like, wow, that's short. Yep. I'm connected to a few of my better podcasts and videos that were from my notes from that. I make notes sometimes when I do podcasts. Those turn into paragraphs or turn into pages. And that's what this book is a series of podcasts that all are connected with the same idea and thoughts. And it's that we all have two sides. Me too. And the market has two sides. The money flow has two sides. Everything is polarity. Male, female, high tide, low tide, cold, hot. And you say, well, there's degrees in the middle. I know. And it's just like this. Stage 3 is a stage 1. Price is moving sideways. Stage 2 is price drifting up. Stage 1 is price drifting, or stage 4 is price drifting down. It's the polarity of the markets. This is all mindset. So as you begin to see the world through the eyes of the money flow is not just this, although it is that, right? But it's this in all areas of life. So as you begin to seek more, you begin to look around more. As you begin to look around more, you start to think, man, maybe I could earn unusual. Maybe I could be a little different and weird. Maybe I could have some weird side hustle that makes me an extra $1,000 a month. Like as you begin to believe the possibility of that, you begin to see things people who aren't focused on that see. So it begins to narrow down the competition of the people you're competing against. Only so many people get up to buy a beat up shitty house and work on it. But people do, right? And so our competition narrows as we begin to narrow down what we're trying to do. Because of social mass hysteria and the fact that people become afraid to own an asset. Why anybody would be afraid to own an asset that pays 6-7% dividend yields and has for 50 years because of something I have no clue, but they do. And as it comes down, I can use that social stigma of failure, their fear. Well, I don't want to be the guy that was holding that when it dropped in half. I do. You're like, what do you mean? See, so like We can go back. I mean, we just go down the list, but we want to own Ford here, right? But we're happy to own it here. And we got to somehow, that's not trading, right? That's investing. And so trading and investing are very linked. But it's much easier to make an investor a trader than make a trader an investor. And if you're a good trader, that's great. You have a job, but you don't have any wealth. So long before trading, if you have an understanding of wealth and you're building it, you're going to be a better trader. Let me tell you what is not wealth: debt. So when I approach it every day, some kid asks me, should I pay my student loan off or invest in the stock market? And every day they pitch to me why investing in the stock market is the smart move. Now they have no wealth. They've built no means. They own no companies. They haven't employed 50 people. They don't have age or experience. And they all argue with me based on a math number because they think that's what makes you rich. It's not. It's mindset. My man said it there. If you have 50 grand and you owe 50 grand, you have zero. You understand that. But people will justify in their mind to convince themselves. That was weird. Somehow in their... I fucked up Instagram. Come on, Instagram. Get your shit together, man. And yes, we pay our debt off first because we understand what real wealth is, okay? And you got to get on the other side of the cash register. Now, let me give you an example. You say, yeah, but mathematically, you can get a 9%. Okay, I had people tell me the same thing about Bitcoin. Gerald, Bitcoin goes up on average 200% a year. And I said, I know, I agree. I can read history too. I think I'm just going to buy Bitcoin and not pay off my student loans. And I said, that is not a good idea. Trust me, always pay the debt. The market is always here for you. Now, guess what? Bitcoin is a lot cheaper. Imagine if they'd have paid off their debt. Now they have no debt and Bitcoin's cheaper. Now they can start buying Bitcoin. But now what they have is college debt and cheap ass underwater Bitcoin. And they don't have the same ferocious mindset. They're not as pumped up. Imagine if you'd have paid off your student loan and just now you're buying Bitcoin. You're going to be fired up. That principle applies every single day of the year. I don't care where the market is. I don't care where housing prices are. I don't care about interest rates. Number one is free yourself because then you free your mind. And once your mind is free, because you're looking at it from a very tiny fucking window and you're saying right now at this moment, this would be the smartest thing, and you don't have any wisdom or history in which to make that decision. Always the best decision is to be free, because the man who's free can sit back and think and make logical decisions without pressure. But when your fucking debt goes up, 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 and your stock goes down, 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 and then you lose your job, you're going to then see how bad that debt is. It's horrific, and it'll destroy an investing plan. It'll destroy it, and then it'll change the way you see. So as the market goes, guys, I don't have any debt, none, other than on rental properties that pay me money. No car payments, no house payment, none of that. So as I make money, all my rent's coming in, okay, pay my bills, but what am I, man, take the market down. I'm 52. I want this shit to come down. If Bitcoin's going to make it, shit, I need it to go lower. I want more than one Bitcoin, don't I? Some people act like all they wanted was a quarter Bitcoin. Like you just wanted a quarter? That was it? Thought you wanted 10. Well, now it's easier. Oh, wait, mind fuck. Now my opinion changed. Now their opinion changed. Get rid of the debt, man. Get rid of the debt, and then you're free. You get to decide what job you want. You get to decide when you move. You get to attack, because any given day there's assets on sale. So there's never an argument, I should keep my debt and invest. That argument is always stupid, dude. Always. Get rid of your debt. Now, if you are a doctor and it's 900, that's a different conversation. But most people, it's chump change, 30,000, 50,000. Man, the discipline and what you'll learn by attacking that will way outweigh any gains you'd get in a stock. What, 10%? Oh, big fucking deal. It did nothing for your life. But people attach confidence to that ticker number or that balance. And they felt better about themselves when it was up here than when it was down here, because they've attached self-confidence at work to a account balance or to a share count or to results instead of the process of repetition, instead of the big picture, instead of the inherent birthright you have to be wealthy if you stay the course. They've attached it to something else. What I've attached it to is that 70% of the time stock market goes up, I am right. Even if it's going down right now, I am right. I know that without any certainty. Don't give a shit what any YouTuber, president, or anyone has to say. I will be rich over time. And believing that is what got me rich. Debt is bad. Dividends are good. Rents are great. Interest payments are nice. I want to be on the other side of the cash register. And that's how I view transactions. And when you begin to see the world like that, which is very, 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 very difficult. Because most people's lives is set up to be a consumer and not an owner. That's it, man. That is the truth. And it's hard to break that. It's hard to break that, man. I haven't had a job since I was 33 years old. I don't own a business. There's no employees. Try that. And get rich in the process. You better be committed, man, if that's the goal. Otherwise, shit. Otherwise, just put it all in an index fund and go about your day, man. I get those people. Well, couldn't I just put my money? Yeah, you could, bro. You're not doing what I'm doing. We're not doing the same thing, man. Of course you can. It's called history. Go look. My man says, I'm sure you're already rich. It seems like you've been doing it longer than us. I've been investing past 5 years, 15% of my check. That's good. I guess. It's good for you. Depends on your goals. What's your goal, sir? Noodle your girlfriend? Go on vacation once a year because society tells you that's what you should do? Buy Christmas presents because they tell you it's Christmas time? Buy flowers because they tell you it's fit. If that's your goal, to live in the box of society, oh wait, it's Valentine's Day, I gotta go to this restaurant, and you add up all that social stigma shit that you're supposed to do, and then add up the price tag on that, and then on your debts, and on your vacations, and all the shit other people tell you gotta do. Well, you gotta go on vacation, do you? What if instead of doing that, you bought a rental property? What if you had that guts? Everybody's got the guts to go on a trip. They ain't got the guts to buy a property, though. Oh, man, what if I lose the money? You lost the money when you went on the trip, man. You lose money every day. Buy shit at Walmart, throw it in the trash. Our life is consumption, man. Most of the shit you buy goes to zero. And then when it comes to doing this stuff, they're like, oh, my God, Bitcoin's going down. Everything you buy goes down, man. The clothes you bought, zero. Every car you bought, zero. Every trip you went on, zero. Everything you ate, zero. Pooped it right out, man. Most of the things in life goes to zero. Nobody questions it. Nobody gets sad. Nobody goes, man, we just spent $200 on dinner. Fuck, man. Nobody does that. But they buy a little Bitcoin, it goes down. Oh, man, oh. What is it? Why? Because they're consumers, man. 93% of people live in that world. Eat. Oh, do what I'm told. Oh, can I go on vacation on September 7th? Let me put in an app. Can you let me off on... This is most people, man. That's most people. You ask permission to go on vacation. You got to ask your wife, oh, baby, can I learn to trade stocks, babe, please? Can we please buy a duplex? I know your dad says I know your broke dad on Social Security and his little retirement account he says it's a bad idea, but this guy I saw on YouTube, I mean, he's got like 100 properties and they fly around in a jet and he's rich and I know your dad says that, well, that guy's a hustler. He's a con man because what you really want to do is just work till you're 65, save 15% of your income so you can have a little bit more than the average guy. Don't go hard on it now. Don't invest 80% of your income in yourself. That would be crazy. Imagine if you went crazy and you're like, I'm going to invest 50% of my income. And you're like, why would you do that? Well, in 10 years, I'll have $3 million and I don't need to work again. That would be a crazy idea. Wow, who would do such a crazy thing like that? That's nuts. Why would you do that when instead you could just spend all your money? That's a better idea. Put it on cards, finance it. Matter of fact, we'll post that shit on Instagram. Hey guys, look at my car that's going to fucking zero. Aren't you happy for me? Hey, look, we spent $8,000 going to here, Cancun, look. And you do that 10 times. Now, is that me against vacations? No, not at all, man. Not at all. It's the order in which people do them. I'm just trying to help them, man. Now, if their value, and you say, well, yeah, but you get time together and the good times with your family. I don't know what family you've been on vacation with. You never got in a fight with your wife on vacation? Really? You guys are in fucking paradise? Kids didn't drive you crazy? You didn't ever go on vacation, get home and think, God damn, I wish I'd have just stayed home. Never. That's never happened in your family. Everything just goes smooth and everybody's happy. And, I love you, baby. And everything goes great. It's just awesome. And the teenage kid is great. And everybody's, yeah. Uh-huh. That how it went? That it? Man, it was awesome too. It was about 3 hours of awesome. About 20 fucking hours of planning. Most people put more into that planning than picking a stock. They researched that airplane flight more than they've researched AT&T. Still don't know what a closed-end fund. They've been around me a year. They don't even know what a closed-end fund is. Still don't understand what a REIT is. Never bought a book on one. Never bought a book. Bought an NFT, but not a book on REITs. Now, if I did a roll call on that inside the Money Flow gang, I think I'd be embarrassed. I hope not. How many of you have an NFT but don't have a book on REITs? How many have an NFT and don't have a book on the history of the stock market? Ooh, I felt conviction. I felt it tingle. I felt it. Oh, Gerald, that's me, man. I've been playing. I've been pretending. I know I told you I wanted to get rich, but goddamn, man. Acapulco is calling me. I could post those cool pictures on the gram of me behind the boat and the thing is pulling me. I could do that, man. I know I could buy another property. I know I could get my first property, but man, there's the first property and then there's all this other stuff. All this other stuff. There's all these other things, Gerald. I mean, what if I bought and the price went down? The social stigma of failure. I believe in you, man. That's not you, man. That's not you. And if it's you, that ends today, and that means it's not you. No more, man. I'm not saying don't go on vacation. Sure be nice to own the place, though. Just saying. Man, I wish I owned a place on the beach. I've been saying that for 20 years. Now I do. First 7, I fucked it up. That's why it took so long. I lost about $70,000 trading stocks. Messed up doing a lot of things, man. Playing with debt. Because in your 20s, you think you're smart. I did. I realize now how dumb I was. Most 20-year-olds I talk to are dumb. They just don't know it. They can't. Their brain, it's the way the human brain works, man. It's not their fault, not my fault. It's society's fault. And you're like, no, that ain't me. Really? Go meet a 16-year-old and let them lecture you on how society works. They know all about it. And you're like, yeah, but I wasn't like that at 16. Yeah, you were. And then you get into your 30s, and then you're really smart because you've lived a little bit, you've had a job, you've done some adult shit. Start thinking like you know things. I know, I did this, man. You did too. And this is when you really fuck yourself up, man. This is when you start having affairs. This is when you maybe get on drugs. Good people get on drugs, man. This is when you first have your dealings with death. Maybe mom and dad die. Maybe your brother dies. Maybe this is the first time you've gotten fired from a legitimate job. Like shit starts to happen to you. Your kid gets sick. You ever see someone's kid who gets leukemia? Fucks up the whole day. This starts happening to you in your 30s. I cover this and you don't have to die broke. Most people skim over this. They miss it. So what I'm telling you is that's going to happen to you. So that's why I advocate people get rid of debt. Because when that shit happens, and it will, you're going to be in a much better position to have zero debt and little assets than a bunch of assets and a bunch of debt, which means you're going to have to get rid of the fucking assets to cover yourself, and then you're just going to be left with debt, no assets. That's what happens when life punches you. And it will punch you. I don't care what you're doing right now. You're going to suffer pain. All of you. Jesus said it. Buddha said it. Muhammad said it. So, to me, is 15% good? No. I don't even think we're doing the same thing, sir. You're not even playing the game I'm playing. You're doing the conventional work game. Where, if I put 15% of my income in a 401k, yeah, you do that. I'm trying to get rich. And it ain't got nothing to do with a 401k. Could it be part of it? Sure. And if they'll match me, shit. I wish somebody'd match me. I'd love to have a matching 401k. I'd do that and then go do what I'm doing. Like, I wish I had that, man. But I don't have that. If you do have that and not doing it, I can't imagine you'd be on my live. If somebody was offering you free money, you're not taking it. So that's no brainer. But you're not going to be early retired on 15%. What's going to early retire you is 50%. And you're like, well, I can't do that. I know. You can't be LeBron James either. But some people are trying. Did that go over your head? Some people are trying. I'm trying. So some months I don't get it. Some months I do. And when you get a lot of them that you do, sometimes you hit three-pointer and you do it a lot consistently, you get an average. And as that base grows, that average begins to grow exponentially. And when you have $250,000 invested, say, in dividend stocks, and you're aggressively investing into a sell-off, and then the market turns and everything's good, and the market creeps up, and then over the next 2 to 3 years, you're collecting dividends on that 250 fucking thousand. And then market has two back-to-back 33% years, you're at $1 million, and the whole thing happened in like a 5 to 7 year period. All because you took a period of time where you became aggressive and you built a massive base or foundation. And so guess what? When I got onto real estate, my first year I bought 2 properties. They're both paid for now, no mortgage. Together they're worth, I don't know, $325. They bring in almost right at $2,000 a month. What is that worth? What is that worth? If I would have got 4 that year, what would it be worth right now? When you fast forward, right? So this is my concept of the 5 to 7 year period where you go aggressive and you don't live life confined. You're not doing Valentine's Day because you're fucking Valentine's Day. Your girl tells you have to. Make your own day, man. Right? You get what I'm saying? Like, at some point you can break outside of this shit, man. You get 3 houses and fast forward 9 years, you're so much richer than your friends, it ain't even funny. I got 2 guys, good dudes, smarter than me, better artists. I mean, just good dudes. Good people. They got no houses. I got 17. It wasn't talent. I just saved up money and I bought them. And then I went through the agony of holding them and the pain and the pressure and dealing with it and holding it. And now fast forward. You realize every day I wake up, I'm richer. I'm freer. Now they're not YOLOing. Like, they can't go to the beach. I could go anywhere I want right now, tonight. Like, hey, you want? Sure, let's go. Why? I got nowhere to be. No job, no boss, no debt, money. Now, I don't mean stupid money, like I can just run out and buy purses and shit. But if I want to go to Bahama, I don't know. I don't have any interest. I own a beach house in Florida, so I like Florida. Right? So I own a house in New Orleans, too. I like that city. If I want to go eat, I'll go there because I own a place there. I'm looking at the mountains now. Why? Because I'd like to go to the mountains. I don't want to pay someone else. I want to own the fucking mountain, right? Or my little piece of it. And that's just a different approach, man. And so as you go forward with that, this begins to multiply. I'm telling you, if you're in the Money Flow gang and you've been with me a year, 2 years, 3 years, I know you got to be seeing this. And it don't mean at times we don't have trouble or times certain things fall. Like we're going to have trouble. But as we begin to build that out and you go from 2 houses to 3 now, you still got your stocks, but for a time and a minute, you're not hitting them. And they're growing, you're getting some dividends. And then you get a chance where you got like a 4-month window and you're banging them, man. And then wait, I got to do this driveway on this house, so I got to turn all my resources to there. And I've watched people, friends of mine, go from 3 to 7. Oh, wait, now they're doing stocks. They got like 6 stocks. And then all of a sudden, they're not doing stocks as much. They're mostly doing houses. But then one of their favorite stocks just gets bitch slapped. And they know the money flow. And he's like, dude, I'm buying shares every day, man. I'm just loading up all the way. Like it hits that state he's buying. But then he's like, man, I hate it because now I got to go buy. You see what I'm saying? And you fast forward 10, 15 years. This guy's worth millions. And he's on vacation too. He's at baseball games with the kids too. He's buying the wife shit too. It's just decisions they had made along the way. The base they built was massive. And then when that base builds, man, it just begins to grow on itself, man. Grow on itself. 5 rental properties will buy you a property. Now you got 6. And 6 will buy you a bunch of stocks. Had nothing to do with your money. What happens when you buy, here's, and I'll end with this because I'm on my soapbox now, man. I appreciate everybody hanging around. This is too long a video, though. Man, what's wrong with you, Gerald? Calm down, man. Hey, grab my new ebook. It's short. You're going to be like, damn, I gave this dude $27 for 20 pages? It's not the page count. I've tried to simplify what were longer chapters because I know you're not going to read it all. You say, how do you know that, Joe? My highest viewed videos are 17 seconds long. My highest viewed video is 17 seconds. The one where I just drop the blueprint is one of my least watched videos. I know where people's heart is. And I know there's lots of it. My wife's like, Gerald, don't take that personal. They're busy. I go, I know. They're busy. I know. They just didn't know. Maybe the algorithm didn't tell them that you posted. I know. Whatever it is, I know. But it is what it is. That's humanity, man. And my wife will say to me, how do you watch that? It's so boring. And I'm like, what? And it'll be something I'm like, because that's where the information is? Like, yeah, it's boring. What do they need? To make it a fucking cartoon for my brain to watch it? You need someone to rub your feet, make it a cartoon, feed you grapes, and then you can watch it? Like, I'm supposed to be different than other people, man. Right? I got to discipline myself. Agony, man. It's agony, man. Skill and agony of continual and perpetuating faith into the mind, which most people wouldn't dare, is what makes them great. This is why most people give up too soon. Because to hold a goal in your head for months, and years, while imagining it into the physical equal, is the hardest thing for a person could ever do. Most quit too soon. Imagine how hard it must have been for Thomas Edison to hold this desire of the light bulb in his head for all those years with no physical proof that what he saw was about to come true. You're like, yeah, Gerald, but Bitcoin's going down. The secret, let's see. Think how many mental stamina rock stars, celebrities, and the rich must have used to keep their highest self. New book's about 2 selves. Hit my bio link, pre-order it. It's coming in about a week. It's about your 2 selves. We got to fix the 2 selves. We both have 2 selves, okay? One is a lower self, one is a higher self. And the rich must have used to keep their higher self in mind while everyone around them probably told them that their goals were worthless, and yet, through all of their hard knocks, they persevered, just as you will, just as you are now. You'll never move forward and above or outside of where you already are until you begin to think forward and to think outside of where you already are. I read what's only 2% actually think, 3% think they think, and the other 95% think would rather die than think. Now listen to this. Thinking what you want as the truth that you see in your head, despite all outside appearance of the thing, not yet in physical form, is the hardest thing you will ever do. The Creator has made us rich with this continuous creative thought, meaning your brain constantly flows. We must either think or lose ourselves into some activity and escape thought. And that's why you follow so many influencers. You think one of them might have something that's outside of you. That maybe the Creator gave him something you don't have. That maybe there's something more to the 4 stages of price movement. Maybe there's something different than this. Doesn't that look like this? Doesn't it? Maybe you think there's something different than that. So look, stage 2 run up, sideways, comes down, sideways, runs up, goes sideways, comes down. Maybe you think there's some other way price moves. Sometimes people try to, lecture me, explain to me maybe things that I haven't known. And yet, it's not what I see. Now, what they're really saying to me, and they don't know it, is they're trying to account for this. It didn't quite do what we thought. They're trying to explain the gray areas because they feel there's some attachment to their personal confidence that they're, meaning their goal is to be right, not necessarily rich. I don't care about being right. I know over time I'm right. I'm already right, man. It's just the meantime. So when I see this, I don't want to sell any of my utility stocks. You out of your damn mind? I want to buy utility stocks. So look where it's come into, right? Where it's come before. So I know what to do, right? So as I watch this, what am I waiting for? An anchor point. Why? So I can add on the stages. I don't know if it's the bottom. It's the bottom right now. Might go down to another one. Okay? Same thing for Bitcoin. Now, what I got to do is use my brain and balance things. So I need to build a portfolio. That calls for thinking. You got to sit down, look at your different assets, look where they're at, look at different sectors. And at times, all of the market gets bitch slapped. So you look at it and you say, okay, which sector, which presents the best opportunity? Do I want dividends right now? Do I want to add up on growth stocks right now? What do I want to do? What is it I'm trying to do? And you got to think on this shit, man. And you got to look at your lifestyle and your age, and you start to think it through, building it out. And you do this with confidence. The confidence isn't in the number. The confidence is in the process, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. No, Badger, it's not. We don't need to know that. See, I don't need to know that about the 13th that this is coming out. What does that matter? It's going to go here the moment we know. It's either going to go up or down. And I already have my rules in place. I don't need to know that. What would I do with the data? So now I know the data. And let's say we think it's going to go lower. What's your plan? Get out? The problem is I don't know anyone who does that. So as I've played this game for 20 years, none of my friends play it. They're all 50-something years old and broke. They're all worried about where the market's going, the economy's going. They all claim that, hey, when this goes on sale, I'm going to buy this. But none of them fucking ever do it. Nobody does that. Nobody does that because the moment you got out of this, that money is now in cash and very well will be allocated to your next big idea, the next thing. And now you don't own utility stocks. And so as you go forward 5 to 7 years, you're not compounding dividends and utility stocks because you don't own them because you got out of them for some reason. And then guess what happens? There is no compounding in your life. That's what happens to most people, man. Don't be that people. That's what's happened in every sell-off, in every recession, in every crash, and in every depression. There's people that got out and never get back in. Fast forward 10 years, they're not rich. They're just people who know some shit about the stock market. And I could give you an endless name of people who've done that in Bitcoin. And now you get your test. Now we get to see. So if Bitcoin goes back to its previous highs, you get your fucking test. What did you do? So now you stand at an apex of it. It's actually happening in front of you. So when all those people that said, I would have bought Exxon at that and Ford at this and Bank of America at that, well, let's see. Because now you get your chance, okay? So now you get your chance. All the shit you've been talking, we get to see if that's going to play out. Look at the cues back here. Look way back here when they had that big crash in 2008. Look, that's all it was. Look right here. And there's countless industries and books and all kinds of shit that... Why is this? Look at this, man. What is going on? All kinds of books. Go back and look. 2008, world's never going to end. Peter Schiff kept saying that shit all the way up. Same old people arguing about the same dumb shit. Buy gold. Buy all that stuff. And now here's where we are. And I'm telling you, if you... The money, if you had applied it your whole life, think about it. What if you'd applied this since you were 22 years old? You know, the money flow concept. What if you'd have done that? What if when you were 26 and got your first job, you lived on 50% of your income and you committed to that as a way of life because that was your fucking life goal? Imagine how wealthy you'd be right now. You go vacation every month. Let's see. At what age did I buy my first stock? I think I was in funds, but first stock at 30s, probably 32 years old. Bought my first rental property at 32. By 38, I was a millionaire. Because I completely changed my life 100%, got rid of all debt, devoted all monies outside of 50, about 50 to 60% of all income went to investments for about 7 years, consistently, 100%. Which required me often to do multiple things because it's hard to live on 50% of your income, which means you got to get your income up, which means I can't be doing dumb shit with my income. So my entire existence in life became about growing this base because I knew if I could get the base to a certain level, then it would run on its own. Wealth makes money. Money makes money. So you got to get enough money in the game where the money's making money. My money now makes almost, gross, and it's like $200K a year, guys. Rents, dividend, interest payments, and you got costs on that. But that started with one stock, one house. And you just got to get the base built fast, man. And this is not normal shit. Listen, you're not going to do this being normal. These are not normal people. You're not having normal friends. If you got normal friends and you spend a lot of time with normal friends, you're not doing this. Because your brain won't do it because you're not indoctrinated in it. The people around you aren't doing it. Like right now, man, the only people I spend any time with are other real estate investors, other stock investors. I spend a little time with other people, but I got to limit it, man. And when I spend time with them, I got to wash my mind. I got to get it back on track because I can feel it even at my age, even with me, with what I do. So I'm much less where guys 35 just getting started. Jesus. What stock have you had the longest? AT&T probably. How did you buy your first property? With fucking money, man. What do you mean how? Oh, you're talking to that guy. What are you talking about? Money, man. Let's see. All right, Instagram. Let me turn that off. What do you think about owning the Spider Slick ETF in your buy and hold for diversification as opposed to individual stocks? Thanks for all you do. Yeah, sure. I guess. It's not what I'm doing. What are you going to do in the other account? You can. It's not a bad idea. You're going to make money. But you got to add to it. The problem I have with that is one, you're not going to get much in the way of dividends. Okay, you're just playing the appreciation game mostly. Some dividends. You can't take advantage of a sell-off. So what if there's a big sell-off in REITs? Well, you don't get to add income to your portfolio because you don't own any fucking REITs. You do indirectly through the index fund. But there's plenty of times where the index fund stays up and then this stock that pays a dividend goes way down. So I get a chance to buy Exxon at $25, $30 and the dividend is 9%. And then it goes up 100% and the dividend comes back in the line. So to me, I don't know, man. I'm just playing a different game than that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not the game I'm playing. To me, it seems like now you're putting your focus on trading and flipping and not building wealth. Okay, so you do that, and then what? That doesn't sound fucking boring? Like you're not taking advantage of any dips. You're not, is that to simplify your life? Well, then I don't have to know anything or learn anything and I can just focus on fucking playing golf every weekend and I don't need to know much. I mean, is that the point of that? You don't want to know what Southern Electric's doing? You don't want to know that, mall REITs are on sale? I mean, are you just too fucking busy? I mean, is that it? Like you just want to be a normal person? Yeah, go buy an index fund. Shut up, put money in it and move on with your life. Retire broke like everybody else. Sounds exciting, bro. I started heavy on dividends. You honestly reminded me of my old PSG. No BS, straight to the point. Thanks, all your lectures. You're very welcome. Yeah, and what people don't understand, dude, volatility is your friend. The fact that a stock can drop $20 is why you can outperform over your life. I don't know about year to year. People are like, didn't you buy into ETF last year? I don't know, man. I don't even know what the fuck return was on the ETF because that's not what I'm doing. I'm building a portfolio of assets that produce cash flow and appreciate and throw off interest. And I'm owning different things. And at times, some of the shit I own doesn't look good, man. All right. And as I go through that, this guy here, man. What is fuck, dude? Anyway, man, you guys be good. I appreciate you. Be positive. Keep the faith. Focus. Get my new ebook. It's only $27. The good thing is you'll read it because it's small. If you can't read this, come on, man. If you can't read this, come on, man. Read it. It's going to have it's all about thinking. It's about your mind. Maybe I'll say it to you in a different way. You probably know a lot of it, but maybe I'll say it to you in a different way, man. I appreciate you guys.